Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Man, do we got news? Holy heck, do we got lots to talk about. We got subterfuge at $1 Place. What's going on over there? A lot of subterfuge going on over there at $1 Place. We got catastrophic injuries at $1 Place that are making me somewhat depressed, but I'm not going to be depressed today. I'm going to give you guys energy, hopefully entertainment, make you laugh, make you cry. You're probably going to cry in this episode, I think we all are. So buckle in for another edition of the JP Peterson Show, independent media at its finest. Good morning to you, IndyCar Tim, in our Dallas affiliate. What's up, partner?
I thought I would do this for our less educated listeners. I know we've got a few out there. What subterfuge means, I thought I would just share it with everyone.
Very nice. Deceit used in order to achieve one's goal. And apparently the goal for the Buccaneers is to not admit that they laid down and let the Texans score. That is the essence of the day yesterday. As the dogged journalist that I am, Tim, I went into $1 Place yesterday, or the Advent Health Training Center, as they now call it. And I said, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to find out if they laid down like dogs and let the Texans score. And I did. I asked the hard questions, and I got the really weird answers. And they weren't
great run.
They weren't gonna admit it. This is an incredible story. So I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. And we have the audio. The audio where I stuck that microphone in their face and I said, I want answers. I want the truth. Because we can handle the truth. It's an amazing story. All right, so let's get to the other headline that came out late last night, which again, subterfuge. We had a media availability yesterday. Why weren't we told about Cody Mauch? Maybe they didn't know yet. Maybe they didn't know, but they probably did. And maybe that's why Baker was so somber yesterday. And Bowles was kind of somber yesterday.
Oh yeah,
it was somber to be. So Cody Mauch, starting right guard, is out for the year. Did they detail what injury it is? I don't know if they did.
Foot, right?
I don't know. It's a leg injury of some type.
Knee. It's a knee.
It is a knee. All right. So evidently he finished the game. Mm-hmm. There was no word of him being injured during the game. What a tough son of a bitch. And so he's out for the year. So now you've got Luke Gedeke out this week. You've got Cody Mauch out this week. He was the only guy starting at his natural position. The only one. And doing a hell of a job, by the way. So you got Bredesen at center, who's usually your left guard. You got Michael Jordan off the practice squad, elevated again to start at left guard. You've got Graham Barton moving out to left tackle, who's normally your center. You've got Charlie Heck, the tripping Charlie Heck, out at right tackle. Lovely trip it was.
Hopefully he's got some more of those in his bag this week.
So as I count, of the 5 guys that are normally in their positions, you have Seto. 0 for those who are not bilingual. 0. I don't care if you're playing East Texas A&M State like FSU did. You might have some issues. Even against the Jets. And let's not forget, we've also lost Kalijah Cansey this week. So I said this going into the season. I was very confident that this was an 11-win team. 10 was, I think, the floor, 13 maybe the ceiling. And I kind of dialed that down about a half a game with those injuries. Now, I don't know. This team could lose to the Jets easily. With these holes, with these key injuries, this is a little bit more than we're banged up.
Is there another team in the league right now you'd rather be playing with these injuries though than the Jets?
No, I don't.
We're going to be without their quarterback, by the way. We figured out for
Yes. And we also learned from Baker Mayfield it's Tyrod, not
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor. It's Tyrod, in case you didn't know. 36 years old. He's been in the league for 800 years, and we finally figured out how to pronounce his name. Thank you.
By the way, do we know the connection between Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor?
They played together.
So in Cleveland, when Baker was drafted, Tyrod Taylor was the starter, and Baker took his job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're great friends, which leads me to believe that maybe Baker was lying about how you pronounce his name. He's playing a big joke on everybody.
It's a prank. Yeah.
All us idiots will be like, Tyrod. And he's like, no, Baker played you guys. That was a joke. So I fully expect that to be the case, by the way. But anyway, whatever, Tyrod is starting this week. And listen, this is a guy who gets out of bed, much like Teddy Bridgewater, can just play quarterback and do it pretty efficiently. You know, he knows how to run. He knows how to throw the football. I think he was, 7 of 11 coming off the bench, threw a touchdown pass. I know it was garbage time against the Bills, but this guy didn't play in the preseason. He had arthroscopic surgery, but he just gets out of bed ready to play football. He'll be fine. He'll run around. He'll make some plays. I don't think it's measurably different than Justin Fields, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm sure Justin better.
36 years old though is the other part.
Yeah, Josh Johnson's 7,000 years old and he's still in the league.
That's true.
Some of these guys are born to play the position, and it's just easy to them. So anyway,
I saw something funny, JP, on the X machine that I had to bring up here today with the offensive line. And by the way, we do have some names of some guys that they're working out, and bring one guy that we know they're bringing in. We can get to in a little bit, but is Ryan Jensen on that list, you think?
Ryan Jensen was actually asked about that on Twitter, and he said,
"That's what I got right here."
Oh, you got it right there.
Somebody said, "Are you available?"
Screaming at elk and weighs 265 pounds. Life's good.
Yeah, he's got no desire.
No, thank you. I'm good. And Ali Marpet, don't even ask.
Yeah,
he's at like 240 now. Yeah. He's not ready to go. So we've signed some Jamoke off the practice squad from the Giants, a 31-year-old guard who's, a big lunk that'll, come in and be somewhat serviceable and get in the way. But some of the intricacies of this run game where, Cody's pulling out and that whole symphony of these counters and gap schemes that they have that you go put on the all 22. And I love watching it, man. They're just crisscrossing. They're cross blocking and they're just, it works so really well. Pacucci and Kevin Carberry are tremendous offensive line coaches, but you can only take so much. You can only take so much change because offensive line is so much about the nuance of working together and communicating together and being in the system. And it's just, you can't do it this way. It's honestly, it's amazing that they've been able to do what they've done in the first 2 weeks. And I think that makes fans think, oh, well, they just plug somebody else in. No, there comes a point of critical mass where you just cannot sustain this many injuries and be effective in the NFL. You just can't. And the Jets defense, although they gave up 34 in week 1 and 30 in week 2, it's not formidable, but it's the NFL, man. And if you don't have frontline players, it's going to be tough to move the football. And, and more than that, Baker Mayfield, who showed up yesterday with a long leg sleeve on his left leg, saying he's fine. He's not fine. He's beat up. I watched the game. You watched the game. He's beat up. His mobility is probably somewhat diminished. He's a gamer, and he'll do whatever it is to win, but I fear for his safety. These are the type of guys that whiff on blocks and leave people as free runners and get your quarterback smoked. Ask Joe Burrow. He's been doing it for a while, and it doesn't work very well. You tend to end up on the injured list. So, yeah, it's critical mass on this offensive line. Baker Mayfield's in danger of getting killed, and if that happens, there goes your season. I don't want to be Mr. Wet Blanket. That's not my style, but this is the reality of the situation. I'm not going to lie to you people and try to sugarcoat this shit. It's bad. It's really bad.
I have a question for you, JP.
Yes, sir.
Who is the Jamoke that you just referenced? Because if it's the guy that I'm talking about that they just signed, he's no Jamoke.
He's on a practice squad.
Feeney?
Yes.
Dan Feeney from the Bills, by the way, started 65 games in this league.
In what decade?
Infinitely better than Charlie Heck.
Infinitely, and that's why he's on the practice squad
The
for the Bills.
The Bills wanted to elevate him so that he couldn't get poached when this happened, and they didn't do it in time. They are crying in Buffalo right now, and they are scrambling
Because they lost a practice squad. Think about what you're saying.
I understand what I'm saying, but I've watched him play all these years, dude. He is good.
That's all these years, bro. He's not good anymore. That's why he's on the practice squad.
Look at the Bills' offensive line. They got 5 really good guys.
I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy from Adam, but I know this.
Oh, dude,
I know this.
He's not bad.
I know this. If you're on the practice squad as a guard, at 31 years old, the chances are you've lost your legs. The chances are pretty damn good that you're not what you used to be. At one time, he was a very good offensive lineman. I would agree with you. And if he were still that good, he would not be on the practice squad.
I'm saying he's better than Charlie Heck. I know that's not saying a lot, but right now that's what they need.
At tripping? I don't think so.
Right now that's what they need. They're also looking at Sua Opeta, bringing him back.
Okay.
They're looking at Royce Newman, according to Greg Allman this morning.
Yeah, good. All these guys didn't have jobs.
And
if you're on the street, you're on the street for a reason. Yeah. Sure, they can come in and plug a hole and be there. They're big men. They can do, but we're trying to win a Super Bowl here.
Yeah.
We're trying to win a Super Bowl. You don't win Super Bowls when your entire offensive line is made up of backups. That does not work. I understand that Graham Barton is not a backup and Bredesen is not a backup, but they're playing in their unnatural positions.
Mike H. Who the hell is Charlie Shack?
Charlie Shack.
By the way, how do you like my creamsicle highlights here on our comments?
Wow.
Because we're creamsicles this week.
That is outstanding. I must admit, I am highly impressed and outstanding. Yeah. Absolutely. So listen, I'm not going to argue about it. I hope he comes in and he fills in admirably. And it was great that they were able to poach him off their practice squad. But if we're keeping it real, bruh, if we're keeping it real, this is bad. This is really bad. Yeah. You can go, listen, can we go 500, get to the playoffs, win the division at 10-7? Sure. Absolutely. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl here. This was supposed to be a Super Bowl team. And without Cansey and without Mauch, that's hard. That's really hard. As Scott Reynolds reminds us all the time, the years that the Bucs won the Super Bowl, they were extremely healthy. They didn't lose a bunch of key starters, which they've already lost this year. It's tough. It's a tough league. And I know other people have injuries too, but this is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's getting to critical mass time. And this is what happens. And when you lose a game to the Jets and everybody loses their mind, I'm going to say, what did you expect with this offensive line? And I'm sorry that Baker got hurt, but this is what happens when you get injuries.
So Jordan G said, what do you think of Light making a trade for an O-lineman at this point? That's not out of the question, but the only problem with that right now, Jordan, is even the bad teams, you got teams that are 0-2. We're only going into week 3.
Exactly.
They're not going to give up good guys this early in the season unless you throw a shit ton of draft picks at them, and nobody's going to throw a shit ton of draft picks at a 0-2.
Light's not doing that. Light's not giving up future resources.
Yeah.
Great resources to get somebody for this year. I mean, this is a season that you might do that. If you can get a guy that you think is going to start for another 4 or 5 years for you, maybe at left guard. The left guard position is still kind of, although Bredesen has played well and you just re-signed him. So now that I think about that, no.
Yeah.
Barton's on his second year. Cody Mauch's been, they're going to re-sign him. He's a starter. You just gave Gedeke a shit ton of money. You just gave Wirfs a crap ton of money. So you're going to go out and get another offensive lineman and who's really good that costs money. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
You already invested a lot in this offensive line. So it sucks. And you're kind of in all-in mode now, I think, with this team. I would agree with that. So if you did make a move, I wouldn't hate it. But the problem is nobody's giving up quality offensive linemen. Nobody. Very difficult unless you're going to overwhelm them with high draft picks. And the Light doesn't like to give up those draft picks, as we know. That's why he's had sustained success. All right, so let's get to lay down gate. I just made that up, and it sounds terrible. Come up with something better, guys.
Lay
please.
down gate. Give up gate.
Flopgate. How about Flopgate? Although nobody actually flopped on the field, but we could say Flopgate. So
bad angle gate.
What's that?
Bad angle gate.
Bad angle gate. All right, so I'm gonna go back here. So here, and this is really incredible, folks. It's unbelievable, honestly. Think about this: Todd freaking Bowles, one of the most conservative game managers in the history of the game, literally let the Texans score a touchdown to take the lead with 2 minutes left. I'm going back to the play-by-play here. Nick Chubb with 2:10 left in the game. 2:10 left in the game. They're at the 25-yard line. Now, let's be honest. Fairburn kicked a 50-some-yarder earlier. From 25, that's 35, 47, 42 yards, right? 42-yard field goal.
From where?
With 25. With this, the scrimmage is 25. So 35,
42.
That's
42-yard.
40. That's about a 94% probability he's going to make that kick. Okay? So people are like, well, you let him score with 2:10. They could fumble. They could miss a kick. That's how he won week 1. Blah, 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 blah. I get all that. But how many times have we seen teams, the Washington Commandos in the playoffs, run out the clock and kick a field goal while Bowles is hoping that his crappy defense holds up? And I don't think this defense is that crappy, but the other crappy defenses. How many times have we witnessed that? Last year, again, we said it a million times, 2 and 6 and 7-point games. That's got to switch. So they go out and hire Beastline, whatever, as a game manager. You think this was Todd Bowles' decision? Do you think this decision was made with any consternation on the sideline? Yeah. And this is just me kind of connecting the dots here. I think there was probably a very spirited discussion about letting them score. I think it was very spirited. But I also think that going into the season, the Buccaneers brass said, hey, Todd, we're hiring a game manager, and if he makes a call, we go with it. If he makes a call, I don't care what you think. I don't want to be that seems a little rude, but despite your best inclinations, we're going to go with the game manager. Feelings of anxiety or dismay. Typically, it's something unexpected. There, I think I nailed it. There was consternation and maybe some constipation on the sideline. I don't think you need to put up the meaning for constipation, but there was consternation.
Make sure the Petermans knew the difference. That's all.
And maybe some constipation as well. But there was definitely some consternation. No question about that. So I can't even imagine what this conversation was like. You want us to do what? With 2:10 left in the game, you want at the 25-yard line, you want us to let them score. Yes. We have 3 timeouts, the 2-minute warning, and Baker fucking Mayfield. The strength of your team is the offense. And with 4 downs to work, 2 minutes, 3 timeouts, and a 2, the chances of you winning this game with the ball last are much better. And folks, I know it's counterintuitive, but that's the effing fact. That is fact. It's counterintuitive. I get it. But if you look at the annals of the NFL in this situation, with the kickers as good as they are, and they only need a field goal to win, this is the situation we're in. This is the situation you're in. So let them score. So, JP, how do you know that they let them score? That's a great question, my friends. You Petermans are on top of it. Let's play Antoine Winfield Jr. And my cross-examination of the young man yesterday in the locker room as I try to get to the bottom of Flopgate. Here we go.
So that last play where they scored, were you giving it your all? Did you guys let them score?
It was a great run. It was a great run. I'm going to say that.
Come on.
It was a good run by him.
Was it an instant decision by you, or was this something that we talked about on the sideline?
Like I said before, it was a great run.
You guys are going to keep this a secret forever, aren't you?
Good run, man. It was good play call.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, if you just read the transcript, you would say, oh, there's nothing there. Oh, Timmy, in your expert opinion of nonverbal communication, was that young man being truthful to me?
Here in Dallas, we call that the Jason Garrett method, where you say everything without saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
That smirk on his face really told the whole story.
Not to mention the lack of effort coming from a guy who gives supreme effort and has knocked the ball out at the goal line countless times.
That's like what I said yesterday when we had Scott Reynolds on, or when we had TJ on. And I said, I'd rather them have allowed it than to have pursued at such a bad angle, right? Because surely you can't miss that bad unless it's on purpose.
Yeah.
It had to be.
So, I mean, we could dance around it, but they let him score with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left at the 25-yard line. Todd Bowles did that.
Unprecedented for Todd.
Or did he? So in my dogged pursuit of the truth, Tim, I asked Todd Bowles the same question, and I followed up with more dogged questions, being the Edward R. Murrow Award winner that I am. Here we go. I'm sorry for the audio, but I think you'll get most of it. So turn everything down and listen closely. Listen closely.
You solved the great debate. Did you let them score on Monday night at the end?
I don't think it matters. We won the game. So we'll go from there.
Not gonna tell us
At all.
Not going to tell us at all. At all.
Yep.
So do you think, and and then listen, we're having fun with this. They won the game. It's fantastic. But I mean, you guys out there, think about this. If I'd have told you before the game that Todd Bowles was going to let them score with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left with the team at the 25-yard line, you'd have said, you're out of your effing mind. But I like the new Todd Bowles. I love the new Todd Bowles. This is the difference. And kudos to Todd Bowles for not being, excuse me, Bill Belichick or any of these other ego monsters and said, I'm doing it my way. Now, granted, his way in close games hasn't worked out so well. So, it's probably a good idea to try something different. And I want to remind you folks this, though. The next time they do something like this and maybe it doesn't work out on 4th and 10 and you want to skewer Todd Bowles, I'm going to be here to defend him. I'm going to be here to defend him. Because that was a ballsy move. Cojones. If you want to put the definition of that up.
Because look, if they do this and it doesn't work out, say they don't make the 4th and 10, right? And they lose the game.
Right.
There's a ton of people roasting Bowles and roasting the defense for allowing that touchdown.
I wouldn't be
whether
one of
it
them.
was on purpose or not. But at the same time, you and I are going to be here saying it kind of looked like they let them score on purpose. Maybe you're not having as much fun with it if they don't win. Maybe you're not jabbing Antoine Winfield Jr. and Todd Bowles in the pressers.
Oh, heck no.
But yeah, right. But we're still saying it kind of looks like they let him score. Look, it backfired. You don't win the game. Maybe if they force a field goal, they miss the field goal, whatever. We know the odds. But at the same time, we should be saying last year, they're not even given a chance to win this game.
Right.
What were they, 1-9 in one-score games or something ridiculous?
They were 2-6 in 7-score games, and they won another game with an 8-point spread.
All right, and this year you're 2-0 in one-score games.
That's right.
2-0.
2-0.
So they took a different approach this year, and whether it works out or not in week 2 on Monday night, you have to like the fact that they're taking that different approach.
That's my point.
And in the long run, at some point, it was going to work out, and it worked out on Monday.
My point. Yes.
So yeah,
yes.
it's a fresh take.
Yeah. I mentioned a couple times this week, having covered the arena football and the great Tim Markham for many, many years, where they score and, scoring drives take 12 seconds. Yeah. Okay. He always, his strategy was always, and it started to play out, 3-4 minutes left in the game. I want last at bat. Like I talked about this on the Orestes Destrada show yesterday. It's like, that's why having the last at bat in baseball is so huge, because you know what you got to do. You know what the assignment is. Okay, so at that point, if you let them score, now, keeping them from getting the 2-point conversion would also key as well. But at that point what the assignment is. If we have the ball last, we're going to win the game. We'll have a chance to win the game. Not Baker Mayfield sitting on a sideline watching your offense, sitting on the sideline watching the Commanders march down the field, drain the clock, use all your timeouts, and kick it at the end. And you're sitting there holding your D, or maybe holding your O. Your offense is just sitting there watching. That can't happen. That can't happen again. So the Bucs did something about it. They went out and hired a game manager and said, he's making the calls. I don't care what you say. And I don't know if Todd disagreed with it. I don't know that. I'm not on the sideline.
He'll never
maybe the team's subterfuge covering this up may suggest that maybe Todd wasn't on board with it and doesn't want to take credit for it because he's an honorable man. Just speculating. It kind of gives me a little bit of feel is like, I don't want to take credit for this because it wasn't my idea. Now you can come out and say, hey, the game manager made the call and we won.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. At this point, it does not matter. It's fun to talk about on shows like this, but it doesn't matter. We won the game. But I do think it's interesting. Why the subterfuge? Why it's a great run. It's a good call. Why?
Have we ever had a team come out and admit that?
Yeah. Happens all the time.
I thought we had. Yeah.
Do you have a theory? You guys have a theory? Why would they? Because they don't want to feel like they're rubbing it in. Because this is a good example because Todd Bowles is a class act. He's not an egomaniac. He's not one of the guys that ever wants to stand up and say, yeah, that was me. I do that. You do that. Everybody else. But a man of character like Todd Bowles does not need that. So that's to me probably the likely answer is he doesn't want to embarrass D'Amico Ryans. He doesn't want to he's not that guy to go, oh, I got over on you. There's a lot of coaches that would, and I'd say probably 99% would do that. And Todd Bowles is an honorable man and doesn't need the credit. That's probably the main reason right there for the subterfuge and it's almost like we're admitting it, but we're not admitting it. I mean, right? Those answers from Todd and Antoine were not like, and it was interesting, by the way. I think was it Bucky? I don't know if it was Bucky or one of the others. So right before in the there's an interview space in the locker room, the players walk up in front and do the interviews. And typically the PR person will go get the player. So as Bucky was coming over, the two PR guys went over and there was a little huddle there. And it was probably like, hey, just reminding you what Coach said about don't admit. There's some asshole reporter over there, JP Peterson, asking all these questions. So when they start coming after you about it, don't give it up. Don't give it up. There's probably a little bit of a reminder. And again, I'm not saying there's anything incredibly nefarious about this. It's fun to talk about. And I think it's also a very instructive to say, as we said, it'd be good for you, Todd Bowles. When they came to you and said, we're going to hire a game manager, did you say, no, we're not? No, he said, okay, we need to be better. Not a lot of coaches are doing that. So kudos to Todd Bowles. Yes, thank you. Great point. Old dogs, new tricks here in Tampa. That's okay. That's how you win. That's how you get better. Shelve the ego. Listen to other people. Open your mind. Damn it. That is a masterstroke of genius by the Buccaneers for hiring the game manager, going out there and stealing him away from Jacksonville, and basically saying that he's going to make the calls, no matter how much you disagree with it, Todd. And maybe he did agree. I don't know that. He may have been on board with it. I don't know. Let's get the tape. Let's find out. Let's get the sideline tape and find out. Like we found out that in the Mike Evans record, when they wanted to get it to him on the last play, and it was the game was still in the balance. Todd Bowles was not really down with that whole idea. He was like, "You better not effing throw an interception. You better not effing do this." So kudos to him, and I think it's worth talking about. I think it's a great lesson to all of us, and a tip of the cap to Todd Bowles and this organization, because that's a hell of a call. That is one hell of a call, and it should go down in Bucs history as maybe one of the greatest gambles of all time. And the right play, yeah, and the right play.
This is the look that Todd Bowles gave JP from the stage. This is just close up here.
I love that. I love the highlight of him getting an interception. I think was it maybe in the Super Bowl where he just destroys Darrell Green.
Oh yeah,
he's coming in for the
teammate. Yeah,
and Darrell's going after it at the same time, and he just destroys him. And Darrell Green's like, he's just laying friendly fire, just laid him out.
Todd Bowles could hit, man. He could hit.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, I've been critical of him, and I think rightfully so in the game management decisions and some other issues. But man, I love that man. Love that man. He is salt of the earth. He's just a great dude, a great guy, and obviously a super smart guy, and shelves the ego and does what it takes to win. And that's why his players love him. That's why his players play so hard for him. And again, I couldn't root any harder for the dude. I just love to see him win. All right,
I told you I'm pretty sure he's in my family tree. I'm pretty sure we're related. My grandmother's maiden name was Bowles, so I'm pretty sure we're related somewhere down the list.
You probably are. Although, for genetically speaking, he's much smarter and more handsome than you. And,
lots of people in my family are. That's not saying anything.
I don't see the resemblance whatsoever.
My 23-year-old son took an IQ test because he's about to enroll in. My son's about to go back to school. He took an IQ test. JP, 148.
Wow.
My 23-year-old son.
Who's the mom?
Oh, trust me, she's a lot dumber than I am.
Well, then how is that possible?
I come from smart genes. My mother was highly intelligent.
Yeah.
And my dad was highly intelligent. So yeah, it skipped me, but I'm glad at least some of my kids got it.
Both my dad and my grandfather were Caltech educated.
Yeah.
Brilliant engineers. I could barely work on
my dad was an engineer as well. My dad's got like 9 US patents for a gas lift valve and oil filled.
Oh yeah. Well, my grandfather helped design the electric house at Hoover Dam and all the high tension wires that go from Vegas to LA. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. Well, my dad
designed all the
my dad played for Bear Bryant. My dad played for Bear Bryant.
Well, that shows he's not very smart.
At Texas A&M.
Definitely not smart. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get to the Rays and all of your comments and questions. Lots of you guys in here early, so we'll get in here to the comments. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. If you have been involved in an accident, get that personal attention that the Jeeves Law Group will get you. They're big enough to fight the big boys, but small enough to make you a priority. And they know the local legal landscape. That's very important for your case, folks. That's JeevesLawGroup.com. Get your free case evaluation. Non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And the great folks at Kingmakers Tampa, where we're coming to you right now, kingmakerstampa.com. is the place to go to get a membership to this fabulous place. You can actually use this production studio if you're a member. We have a golf simulator over here. I'll be playing Pebble Beach and Augusta a little bit later on. And we have, there's a massage place over here. You can get your own masseuse to come in. We got a little workout area. We got a sports bar. We got offices, private offices to work. We got a stylish conference room. It is a unique spot in Midtown Tampa, kingmakerstampa.com. We have limited memberships that are going on sale. So if you're interested, get a free tour now. Back in 3 with you people and all your comments. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. We're coming to you live from the Kingmaker Studio on this beautiful Thursday. By the way, the Lightning had media day yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. And we want to thank the great folks at Riveters, the official sports bar of the JP Peterson Show. I was over there last week for lunch. Had a fabulous Reuben sandwich and some wings. Don't forget about their happy hour, 3 to 7 o'clock, folks. And there's no better place to watch Thursday night football than Riveters. So go check it out right there, just north of 275 south of the stadiums, right there on Dale Mabry. There might be a spaceship that's right next door. So you know where to go. It's Riveters, and it is a fabulous, fabulous experience. Go say hi to Tara and Andres and all the great folks over there, and tell them JP sent you. By the way, they have a new Mexican restaurant across the street called Boda, next to that other landmark strip joint, and it is fantastic. It's called Boda. They just opened it up. It's in the old Taco Bell there. Everything is made fresh, like the Riveters food. Everything is made fresh. It's casual dining. You're in and out. Great prices. Really high quality food. So if you love Mexican, fresh Mexican, think Chipotle, but a lot better. Not the canned chain restaurants. Fresh Mexican food. They make it all right there.
So this is the Riveters people that opened the Mexican.
Right across the street.
Okay, I was highly confused this week when you've been touting this Mexican restaurant during your Riveters spots, because I'm like, because you haven't said that in the commercials that the Riveters people own it.
Oh, my bad.
All you've said is, by the way, there's also a Mexican food restaurant across the street. And I'm like, why is he talking about another restaurant while he's doing a Riveter spot?
Now you know.
Okay.
Now you know.
It makes sense. I got you.
Yeah. So check it out. It's called Boda, right across from River. So if you're in the mood for Mexican and you just want to zip in and zip out, they actually have, you can order online and they have a little pickup drive-through window too. Right through. So check that out. It's called Boda. Really cool. All right. So interesting. People are pushing back about this decision.
Of course.
Let me see. Where is it? James says, where is it? Oh, here you go. It makes no sense to let them score, says James. I think maybe it was communicated if Texas running back get free, let him score. But if the Bucs hold like after the block punt, Texas kick field goal, and the Bucs only need a field goal. Okay. I see there's a lot of different computations you can make, but the most likely scenario is you burn your timeouts, they kick a field goal at the gun. How do I know? Well, you got to go all the way back to the playoff game against the Commanders. All right? They get the ball with the score is 20-20, and they get the ball with 4 minutes left, 4:41 left in the game. And they start matriculating down the field. We remember the toss to Eckler where Yaya Diaby was in coverage for 18 yards. That was a killer. And then it was 141 left from the 27-yard line, very similar to the 25. 141 left, Tim. The Bucs have 3 timeouts. It's almost the same exact situation, right? So what do? Austin Eckler up the middle for no gain. I'm sorry, 141 left. Austin Eckler up the middle for 8 yards. So at the end of that, it's 141 left. So they run another play. They let it tick down, and they run another play, and the Bucs use their first timeout. So if you would have let them score when they got to the 27, you would have had a minute 35 left and all 3 of your timeouts. And not the greatest, Redskins defense, and a defense that was probably pretty tired. And 4 downs to go down and get a touchdown and force overtime. At least go for 2 and win the game. So, yeah, a lot of things can happen. They can miss a field goal. You can get a turnover, blah, blah, blah. But the chances are, by analytics, they're going to bleed the clock and you're going to have no time left. So what did they do? This is how it played out. They Austin Eckler for no gain. Second timeout. Daniels, right end for 4 yards. Third timeout. So now it's down to 40 seconds and you got no timeouts left. You're screwed. Daniels takes a knee. Gonzalez kicks the field goal. So we remember that, right? We're not going to let that happen again. Yes, there are a lot of things that can happen, but you know what is going to happen? That most likely. So it was a great decision by the Buccaneers, in my opinion.
And even if it wouldn't have worked, it was still the right decision.
100%. 100%. And we're going to remember that when they make another decision like this and it doesn't work, because that's football. But in my estimation, they did the right thing. It was a bold move, and it's also a humongous change in how this team manages games. And it's a change for the better. I'd rather leave my offense in control than rest it on my defense. All right. Mike H says, breaking news, I guess, from Silverman to leave the Rays. Yeah. So this came down yesterday. Matt Silverman, he says, Rick says Matt Silverman wanted to stay, but the new ownership didn't need a lapdog. True. Yeah, Brian Auld was going to leave it, but I think Brian's going to stay on for a transition, and then he'll be gone. But Matt was going to stay on with the new group in a full-time position. And we kind of talked about that. And Matt's a great guy. Brian Auld, great dude. They've been forced to carry the very dirty water for Stu for a long time. And that was their decision. And they made a lot of money doing it, but that was their decision. They were loyal soldiers, and they did what they did. And when they said that Matt was going to stay on, I was a little iffy about that. Now, the commissioner came out yesterday and said, look, this is great for Tampa, getting a stadium in Tampa. I'm paraphrasing here, because they have a clean slate. Ownership has a clean slate. Now, if they go in to negotiate with Ken Hagan and Jane Castor and all those folks over in Hillsborough, and Matt Silverman walks in, that ain't a clean slate. That's not a clean slate. It's a very dirty slate. And I don't mean dirty in a bad way about Matt. But the point is, that's not a clean slate. These guys, Brian Auld and Matt Silverman, have a long and checkered past in terms of getting stadiums built here. They're not trusted. And we all know Stu was calling the shots, but you were out there carrying the water. And that's a problem. In my mind, that's a problem. That's not a clean slate. That's the same folks doing this. And now they'll have different marching orders. I get that. But it's still, what's the point? What's the point? These guys have a long and checkered past with this stadium saga. We need fresh blood, new ideas. And frankly, I don't blame, even though Matt's a good dude, I don't blame Hagan and some of the others. Were like, oh, can I trust him? Because he's went on the radio and said the Rays aren't for sale when they were clearly for sale, and everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. So you kind of, those things doesn't make you a horrible person, but they have consequences. They have consequences. When we're talking about billions of dollars in public money here and private money, I don't think we want to sign up for the same brain trust leading the way to get a stadium done. So I applaud the new group, and maybe this came from MLB or whatever, or maybe Matt just decided on his own, I don't want to do it. Fine, whatever. But I think it's a positive. And I wish Brian and Matt well. They are given heavily compensated. They'll be fine. But I think that's a very good development as far as this goes. There are some questions here. Mike H says, does Kevin Cash have an out in his contract if ownership changes? He has looked disengaged for months now. I don't know about that. I think the consequences of the season, I mean, he did say he can't wait to get back to the Trop. Maybe sitting in that hot dugout makes him look disengaged in the elements. It's been a tough season, and as much as I looked forward to that outdoor baseball, and it's been a treat. I've been to a bunch of games. After a while, if you're doing it every day, I'm sure it gets really, really tiresome. and hot and bothered and all that stuff. So I get it, and they want to go back to the Trop, but they'll miss the outdoor games in April and May, that's for sure, but not the July, August, September. And then let's be honest, I think Evan Klosky made this point on this show and on Twitter. This team was not built to play in that bandbox. With fly ball pitchers, the Trop is not it's a pitcher friendly place. It's not a batter friendly place like Steinbrenner. So I think that affected them in terms of wins and losses. There's no way to prepare for that. But you go back to the core. You go back to the core issue. The stadium, the Trop should have been replaced 8 years ago. And if there was urgency from Stu Sternberg to get the deal done in Tampa, the great deal that they had on the table, where he had to pay 50%, but was also going to be given naming rights, which would have paid for most of the stadium over a 30-year period. I mean, that was the deal that should have been done, and we would never have been playing in a minor league ballpark. We never would have had the roof ripped off. None of that stuff would have ever happened if you had a responsible owner who had a sense of urgency to get a stadium done that needed to be done. But instead, he wanted to take it to the last day because he was making a crap ton of money in that place. No rent, city paid for all the maintenance, city paid for the insurance, city paid for everything. He's just banking money. That's why he never wanted to move. Did he like the stadium? No, he hates indoor baseball. You know what he likes? Money. And it was being stuffed in his pockets by staying there. But the fans want a new stadium. MLB wants a new stadium. The other owners want a new stadium, so you won't be a welfare state. Yeah, I don't care. As long as I'm making money. I don't care about it. I don't care about the fans. I don't care about the other owners. I don't care about anything except making money. Okay. Well, that's what you get. You have to bear the brunt of that, of the consequences. So as much as everybody wants to say, oh, it's a natural disaster, what were we going to do? Should have been replaced a long time ago. And that's, that is what it is. Sergio Biltres says, agree, Rick, who said we should get Ali Marpet a jersey. I agree. DEFCON 1 here with the O-line. 3 starters out now for this week's game. Baker will be running for his life again. Unfortunately, that's true. Absolutely true.
Have faith in Josh Grizzard and his game planning for that this week. They have plenty of time to game plan for the way the offensive line is going to be, to get Baker some help, and to get the ball out of Baker's hands as quickly as possible.
That's right. All right. I want to stay on the Bucs here for a little bit because I did, as promised, ask Todd Bowles about ball preparation for his kicker. And
I did not ask how he prepares his balls.
I did. I could not ask Chase personally how he's preparing his balls because he was not there. His locker was empty, so I could not ask him personally. But I did ask Todd Bowles, and I believe you have the since the audio is bad, you have the actual quote there that we can put up. I said, I asked him, my question was, hey, I understand there's new ball preparation methods. What's going on with that? Has it been any different? I wanted to get some of the specifics from him about what they're doing differently this year, what the rule is. Now, I think the Athletic reported that every team gets 60 footballs, and they can prepare them whatever way they want, and they use them for kicking for the season. That's the dumbed down version. He didn't want to get into any of that. He wasn't giving me anything at all. He said, it's a little bit of a sore topic with me. I don't believe any of that other stuff. You got to make the damn kick. And I pushed him on a little bit, and he said, you got to make them. They're concerning when they happen 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, we've got to get better there. We've got to block it better. We've got to kick it better. We've got to make them. It's really cut and dry. There ain't much to talk about there. You can talk about balls and inflation and all that other stuff. You've got to kick the ball. You've got to make the kicks. So, yeah, he wasn't having any of it. What's that?
It's not rocket science.
It's not, but do you think it's affecting it? Because Chase is not the only one. Koo got fired.
It shouldn't be, dude. This is all you do, and you have every day to practice only that. And I know we've had the discussion, does the NFL use different balls in the games and they let them practice and kick with in practice? I don't see that there's any way that's the case.
It is. There's kicking balls. They have Ks on them.
Well, I understand that, but they also have the kicking balls in practice.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. You're able to practice kicking in practice during the week with the same balls you're kicking in the games.
But I wonder if they do, because at One Buck Place, if you kick it over the net, it goes into the parking lot and gets scuffed up. If it lands, I mean, they put guys back there to catch them, but they can't catch them all. So those balls can be, do they use them in practice is what I'm asking. Is maybe they don't, because they can kick them over the roof. They can kick them, inside somebody's car and whatever, because it does go into the parking lot. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. So maybe they don't practice with them.
I think the kicking play, whether it's a field goal or an extra point, is one of the most complicated plays a team can have in football. All right, there's so many moving parts. There's more moving parts on that than there is most other plays.
I don't know about
between the snap, the catch, the hold, the placement, the kick.
It's harder than it looks. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not trying to downplay the process. I think it's more complicated than most people think. But it's also the only thing that you three players practice during the week. As the long snapper, the holder, unless the holder's the punter, he's also punting, but that's a different day. And then the kicker. That's all you three guys get together and do during the week. And I don't excuse that, well, the balls are different. They're inflated differently. I think on a 40-yard field goal, I don't think it matters how the ball is inflated. Within a couple of pounds. Obviously, a flat, that's different, but it's an overly complicated process that it should be mastered during the week, and you should not have this crap happening during the week. I
agree. I'm just trying to figure out why this guy has been so automatic, and not just him, but other guys. Suddenly, not so much.
Yeah, Justin Tucker lost his job in Baltimore, not just because of the sex scandal, because he sucked the last couple of years.
Maybe the sex scandal had something to do with his mental framework, maybe.
Thinking with the wrong balls.
Kenneth McCleary says, Jesus Christ, can we get a voodoo priest or something to do an exorcism on the season-ending injury bug that we seem to be transmitting from player to player? Oh, God, please, yes. Yeah. Mike H says, hey, idea, do a virtual tour of Kingmaker Space. Yeah, actually, I've already done that. I have it on video. And maybe what we ought to do is have you guys come down for a show. I have a virtual tour. We'll have a real tour. And we can sign up first 25. Can come on in and watch the show.
JP, last Friday when you left early, and I forgot I was supposed to do the last half of the show by myself until literally you said Timmy's taking it the rest of the way, and I was like,
oh yeah,
oh yeah. I did a virtual tour of the Dallas studio.
Oh, nice.
I showed everybody our production room, the front half of our studio, the hallway, our wall of fame with signatures on it, and the Jaeger machine and the kegerator.
We could actually do that today. I could just,
that's what I did. I hooked it up to my phone.
All right, we'll think about that. High top level people working on that right now.
Yeah.
Bucs Basement, always down in the negative, says this has all the makings of a trap game. I truly hope the Bucs are not dumb enough to ignore the desperate Jets looking for their first win under a new head coach. Absolutely. You're 100% right. You're negative, as always, but you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Does this not smell exactly like the Broncos game last year? 0-2 Broncos, Sean Payton, decent defense.
Rookie quarterback.
Rookie quarterback, backup quarterback this week. It's almost the same exact home. I think that was the home opener. No, we had another home game. But, back in, I think, did we wear creamsicles that game for the Broncos? I forget.
I don't think so.
But, yeah, there's going to be a lot of pomp and circumstance. And that's another thing. Like, Bowles was asked about the creamsicles and everything. He's like, we got to win the game. He was not
having it.
He was not doing the marketing and promotions job yesterday. He was like, no thoughts at all. We asked Baker, no thoughts. Just like, we're just zeroed in on the game. They don't want to talk about any of the pomp and circumstance. Look, and that's for all the rest of us to talk about, and it's fantastic, and it's going to be super fun. But the players are like, they
don't care.
No,
they got enough. They got to talk about that enough before the season started when they made the announcement. They got it out of their system then. And you know what? There is one glaring difference, JP, between this one against the Jets and your comparisons to the Broncos game last year, we've already established this is the new Todd Bowles. I don't think he lets that happen. Last year he let that happen. I don't think the Todd Bowles this year lets that happen.
I agree. There's a different vibe about this, and I make jokes about the subterfuge, but it's true. Like this thing with the lying down, the flop gate, okay? The offensive line switches, we heard nothing about that. Todd's used to be very open in all that stuff, very transparent, and that's not the case this year. And I think, as a member of the media, sure, I'd like to know, but I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan about it. It's not their job. Their job is to win football games. And if they feel like keeping certain things quiet gives them an offense, an advantage, then that's their prerogative, and I fully applaud it. It's our job to find this stuff out, as I did yesterday with my dogged reporting. We got to the bottom of that, didn't we? Yes, we did.
Fan Stream Sports reports.
That's right.
Reports.
Douglas Batista, good morning to you. He says Silverman and Auld out. Good news. They ran the team like a hedge fund. Minimum investment to maximize profit, not victims, martyrs. Part of the problem. They will be very wealthy after the sale. 100% correct, Douglas. Nice guys, but they ran the team like that, just like you described it. And that's not, in my opinion, that's not what professional sports should be about. It's not an ATM for you. It's for you to put the money back into the team. It's a sport. You're a sportsman as an owner. You're not there to make money. You're there to put the money back into the team and do whatever you can to win. If you want to make money, go back to Wall Street and screw everybody over there. But not when you're owning a team. You're a partner. You're in a partnership with the community that supports you because you've been given a monopoly in that town in terms of that sport. You deserve, or you are required. You're required to put that money back into the team for the most part. Rick said this is going to turn into Bucs basement type of show with this kicker 6-3. Oh, it could be an ugly game this week. There's no question about that. I'm just worried for Baker. Let me see here. Mike H says Todd is smart by putting the team on the rookie offensive coordinator. I'm not sure what that means. Am I missing something there? Mike also says Teddy's officially banned from high school football. Duly noted. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank God.
I wrote about that earlier in the week, by the way. Go check out our piece on FanStream Sports Tampa Bay.
Is that the dumbest thing ever? Suspending him for paying for Ubers to get kids home safely.
Yep. Improper payments. Because he got the kid rides home and he got them meals.
Yeah.
And did you hear how he got caught? How all this came out?
No.
So, he'd been doing all of that. And he posted on Instagram. He did an Instagram live outlining everything he had spent on his team and the program and all of that stuff. And then asking, hey, if you guys would like to help chip in to help the program, hey, here's what I've done. If y'all would like to donate to the program, here's how you do it. On his Instagram live. Well, somebody with the school board saw it. Well, you can't do that. I'm Karen, blah, blah, blah. And that's how all of this started.
Can you imagine?
It's ridiculous.
Imagine what a horrible person you are. I just can't even imagine how horrible you have to be to say, you know what? That's an unfair advantage. My kids, we're being cheated. Have a bigger perspective, you effing jerk. My God. And can we not adjust the rules? What is that? Come on. Joel Forsland says, we just got to get through the next couple of weeks. Once Wirfs and Gedeke are back in a few weeks, we're good. Relax, people. Guards are easier to replace than tackles. Joel, that's correct. But we're in week 3. And it's not just, and I'm not talking just about Cody Mauch. I'm talking about Kalijah Cansey.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how this is going to linger for Luke Gedeke or Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, he's not back yet.
You don't know. I mean, he has a point. We get the 2 tackles back, and if those 2 tackles can be healthy the rest of the season, say in week 4 and week 5 moving forward, and we got Michael Jordan and, Elijah Klein, who's going to play guard, or this guy Feeney coming in. Yeah. Okay. But we can't, what about Kalijah Cansey? What about the injuries, the other injuries that are bound to come in the rest of the season where things are running thin? Ibuka has a groin injury. Mike's our only healthy starting wide receiver suddenly. Not good, bro. Not good. I'd like to relax, but no. Kenneth McClary says, I got a question thinking about USF and how long it's taken to get a stadium for them. Why hasn't the Hurricanes had a stadium on campus? You got nowhere to build, bro.
Yeah, there's nowhere to put one.
In Coral Gables, there's just nowhere to build, and that real estate is expensive. It's really expensive. They're kind of landlocked with neighborhoods and high-priced real estate all around them. There's just nowhere to go.
You have to start tearing down campus buildings to build a stadium.
Yeah. There's really no place for them to go. Now, there's that new soccer stadium that's being built by Beckham, and that $10 billion thing, and I think that's closer to them. I don't know if they could think about retrofitting that. I don't know.
Is there enough seats in a soccer stadium?
Normally,
that's only about 35,000.
I'm not going to figure that out for them because if they had an on-campus stadium and had some type of great atmosphere for every game, maybe they would have won an ACC championship by now. Thank you. What else we got?
By the way, JP, can I give you a little more Baker, Tyrod Taylor history?
Yes, please.
It was 7 years ago this week, by the way, that Baker Mayfield made his NFL debut, replacing Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor for the Browns. By the way, against the Jets. Baker led the Browns to a come-from-behind win after being down 14-0. The Browns had been 132-1 in their last 34 games and 445-1 in their last 50 games. Baker Mayfield went 7-7 as the Browns starter that year.
Pretty damn good.
And they dumped him 5 years later.
Wasn't even 5 years, wasn't it?
What, 21? Yeah. 22?
After him winning a playoff game, their first playoff winning game since Brian Sipe.
In 2020, yeah.
I guess it was Vinny, right?
It was Vinny, 91.
B says, Brian Auld was a complete failure. His only job was to get a stadium across the finish line. He couldn't do it. You could blame Stu, but Auld failed. Well, he was taking Stu's.
Yeah, he's working for Stu, right? I mean,
yeah, I think left. Auld dealing with a sane owner with money would have got the job done, and I think they would have done a great job if they had a sane owner getting it done because they're likable people, but not when you have to go on the on the air and lie to people when you're instructed to lie. It's no good.
Oh, by the way, JP, I forgot to mention. In this game against the Jets where Baker replaced Tyrod, he caught a touchdown pass. Baker caught a touchdown pass in that game. So if Josh Grizzard goes back and looks at some game film from the Browns and Baker versus the Jets in that game, maybe he gets an idea for a little Buccaneers special. Look for Baker to maybe catch a touchdown pass on Sunday. That'd be a fun twist.
Nathan says, that is a fun twist. Matt Matera of the Peter Report acknowledged your questions to Bowles and Winfield, but did not say that it was you asking about Anglegate. Anglegate. That's Chris calling it Anglegate. Yeah. Bad Anglegate. That's good. Because they didn't actually flop. They just took bad angles. Come on, Matty. You're not going to give me some play? What's up with that? I'll have to talk to him.
Yeah. Josh would have given you credit.
I would think so. By the way, we had a bit of a snafu with the Josh Capo segment this week, so it will not be seen. He had a meeting pop up, so we couldn't do it, but we'll get him back next week for sure. Danny Boy Kane in this morning says, good morning, gentlemen. Running an audible for my pod today. Couldn't get Carter last night, so I got Allie Peak. Oh, yeah, Allie Peak. We love her. She's the husband of former Gator punter Eric Wilbur. and the brother of Scott Peak. Both men played for Urban Meyer and the 2 national championship teams at Florida. Yeah, she's really good. So we'll tune into that. We love the local podcast. Even if it's on Miami football, Danny Boy Kane. He came on with us last week. That was fun.
He was very chill and relaxed during that interview, too.
All right. I'm taking James to task here. He said, why are we going down this rabbit hole? It was great. They answered your questions and kind of chuckled, but it's now to make it a full-blown conspiracy theory. Who's doing that? Who's doing that, James? I'm not making it a full-blown conspiracy. We're having fun with it,
Yeah,
number
we're just
one.
having fun with it.
But number two, in the serious, acknowledging this massive change in game management. I mean, this is a big deal. Is it not? This is a massive change in how you manage games, which has been the big problem.
It's noteworthy.
A big deal.
It's more than noteworthy.
It's way more than noteworthy. It's I would say, a major turning point. Major. He never does this. We haven't seen it in the past. And it's counterintuitive to most of the way things have been done in the NFL. But don't we see a lot of this changing with analytics? And Jesus Christ, it just happened to you in the playoff game. If you're not learning from your mistakes, I mean, you're not going to be a very good coach or very good anything in life, frankly. So it's not a nothing burger. It's a big effing deal. It's a huge deal to me, I think. Maybe you don't. We can agree to disagree, but that's fine. I'm right. Sergio Pilser says no team is giving up a starting guard, and Light isn't giving up picks. We will have to live with a patchwork right guard the rest of the season.
Yeah.
No, we got an all-pro, according to Jim Feeney.
I don't think I said he was an all-pro. I said he had 65 starts, and I think he's better than Charlie Heck. That's all I said. And he can play center.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a bonus. Let's give him a first-rounder. Bucs are not admitting they laid down,
already
but
got him.
The facial expressions from Bowles when he was asked says it all. I agree. If I think he meant Chubb would have laid down on the 2-yard line, that would have backfired. Yes, you're right, David. And this is an interesting, somebody may have already said this, but this is an interesting point why they're not admitting it. Because if you admit it, you also are telling your future opponents, this is what we're going to do. We're going to let you score, and they're going to be smart and lay down at the 2-yard line.
Which is what Chubb should have done.
Right. But it was so early. It wasn't with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. They weren't thinking that way.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in field goal range, but they were on it wasn't even the outer edge. It's, 92%
mid range. Yeah.
Mid range. But,
and that's on D'Amico, by the way. That's kind of on D'Amico.
Absolutely.
D'Amico needs to tell his guys in that situation, guys, if you're running free, you need to fall down.
But again, it was way early. At the 2-minute warning, I bet he would have done that.
I think so. After that, yeah.
A bigger part of the genius.
Yeah. Timing is everything.
I think it's fascinating.
No one has ever said that about Todd Bowles before.
That's mean, but correct.
But true.
Yeah. Kenneth McClary said this. Yeah, maybe they didn't want to take credit for it because then the other team will know that they will need to fall down before going in so they can take more time when they're down just 2 points. Absolutely. I think you're 100% right there. Yeezy's taking me to task. Calm down, JP. In a few weeks, it'll be the normal line. Mauch, Jordan's been balling at left guard. Play 500 ball till Big Luke is back, and we're good. Again, it's not just the O-line. It's Cansey. It's all the different injuries. And we're only in week 2. That's the problem.
Ibuka got banged up a little bit. We haven't talked enough about Ibuka getting banged up a little bit.
I know. True that. Meets McGee says, I still believe that the injury bug will end mid-season. This can't last 2 full seasons, right? Plus, our last Super Bowl season, we lost the guard. Yeah, we did but that was all we lost. We didn't lose our starting. We didn't lose Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
We didn't lose Godwin and Antonio Brown, both two receivers. We didn't lose half our offensive line out for some of the season. So Yeah, it's way different from that. Rick says it's only fitting the Bucs defense let lots of people score last year. Oh, so they're practiced up on it. Is that what you're saying, Rick? Gotcha.
They were practicing that move last year.
All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back on the other side and get to more of your comments and questions. We've got to talk a little Lightning. We have injury news for the Lightning. Nick Paul. I want to talk about some Rays stuff on the field as well. Anything you guys want to bring to the table, we'll talk a little UF, Miami as well. If you want to do that, Florida State is back on the field this week. So anything you want to bring to the table, bring it. Hey, we're brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. If you have not sampled these new Genesis cars, the technology, the luxury, the dependability, the warranty, 4 years, all maintenance taken care of. Plus, with the valet service at Genesis of Tampa, they will come get your car, give you a loaner car, then bring your car back all nice and clean with the trade offer as well. So you never have to leave the house or the office to get service done at Genesis of Tampa. So go test drive those cars. Michael Murphy will make you a great offer. He's always doing deals too with whether Miami wins or FSU wins or something like that going on. So you got to go down there and find out. He's a huge college football fan. Ask for the owner, Mike Murphy, and talk some football with him. It's genesisoftampa.com if you want to look at some of them cars. Back in 3. Stay with us. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Don'tGoUncovered.com. Open enrollment is coming up for new insurance. So check it out. Maybe you can get a subsidy for your health insurance. You'll find out by Don'tGoUncovered.com. Just give them a call. Their agents are standing by. They know all the rules for the Affordable Care Act. You don't know what the numbers are. They change each and every year, so you might be able to get a subsidy. They'll do all the work on that. Just tell them your financial information, and they'll be able to let you know what kind of subsidy you can get. And they have all different types of great insurance on the Florida Blue plan. So Don'tGoUncovered.com is where you go. Just give them a call. Let them find out. You could save hundreds, maybe thousands in medical insurance. I didn't think I would be eligible, to be quite honest, and we were. So we got a nice little discount on our insurance. So Don'tGoUncovered.com is where you go to find out. Tell them JP sent you. You heard it on the podcast, not the radio. Alrighty, a couple other thoughts here from owners about Rays ownership. Jordan G says the new ownership group definitely wants their own president chosen. That's Babby's job. Yeah, Ken Babby. I think he's going to be the point guy for not only the marketing and promotions, but probably to get the stadium done as well. And I think Dan Doyle will be involved in that. Dan Doyle Jr., Fred Ridley, all the Tampa guys, the Tampa contingent will be involved in securing that stadium as well.
Where is JP Peterson's role in this new front office for the ownership group here?
TBD.
All right.
TBD.
Long as I get my press credentials when they come to play the Rangers, I'll be good.
Well, we will get credentialed. We will be back in the fold to get credentialed. We won't have the censorship of the former leftist regime. There will be full.
You're not going to be banished anymore?
No, I don't think. We'll see. Douglas Batista says, I think it's good for Silverman and Auld to be gone. Part of the problem, in my opinion, they were not forced to work for Stu. They chose to work for him. In short, I don't look at them as victims of Stu. I think that's fair. You can't tell, Douglas. I'm trying to be nice to Matt and Brian, even though they have not been nice to me. I'm trying to take the high road. Douglas.
Take the high road.
They go low, we get high. Go high. Sorry. Jordan G said, side note, more ownership guys means higher salary and money to play with. Huge getting the big money guy from the Dreamers. Morgan, on the other hand, is just salty. John Morgan's comments were super salty. I don't think we spent enough time on that, especially with my great John Morgan accent. They're just going to milk the people. They're going to steal all that public money. Something like that, what he said. But that is a great point, Jordan. I hadn't thought about that, but Workman, he's a billionaire. He's a legit billionaire and probably has a lot more liquid cash than Zalupski, who's a lot of his worth is in Dreamfinder's home stock. So I think that's a big deal. Absolutely. Because there was questions, I think, about the liquidity of this group and whether they had enough money. And there was talk out on the street that they were still looking for investors, even when they kind of had the offer sheet done, which I think is true when they brought in Workman. So it solidified the group from a cash standpoint and will give them more leeway to invest in payroll in the first few years before they get the stadium done when the big revenue comes in. So they won't be, it's going to be a totally different attitude in terms of spending money. We hope. I mean, people can say, we don't know until we see it, and that's true. We don't know, but I don't think they would be buying into this Rays situation in Major League Baseball, handpicking them as this ownership group if they were going to come in and run it on the cheap. Major League Baseball doesn't want that. They don't want the Rays to be a welfare team anymore, and they shouldn't be in the 11th largest market. So it could happen. They could be bad owners. Sure, that could happen. Like it happened in Miami, but I just don't see that happening. I think Major League Baseball is learned from their mistakes. Joel Forsland says, no excuse for missed kicks 2 games in a row. F that. He misses any this week. He's got to go. It's getting to that point, but I think with you signed Chase, you gave him a big deal. He's been money. He's only, he's missed a couple of kicks, but I think we give him a little bit more grace. Yeah.
I'm done with grace.
We're done with grace, yeah.
Why can't everybody be like Cowboys kicker?
God, that guy's good. Hey, what a hell of a story he is, too. Aubrey, just sitting on the couch, and his wife's like, you could do that. You think? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To the XFL. And then
he played he played collegiately at Notre Dame soccer, and then he played professional soccer. And he was literally sitting on his couch, and they saw a kicker miss a kick, and his wife was like, you can do that, right? And he was like, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. And he went out and started kicking and found a kicking coach. And then, he got signed on by either the USFL or one of the XFL teams, and Cowboys picked him right up. And here he is. Crazy story.
It is. Amazing story. Wes O'Connor says, once Wirfs comes back, it kind of resets our line as everyone goes back to their positions. And hopefully Luke isn't out that long. Then we're only down one starter on the O-line. Yeah, that's the optimistic way to look at it. Absolutely. Although you're going to be guess because Bredesen goes back to left guard. Luke goes back to center, or Graham goes back to center. So, and then Luke comes back, hopefully. So, yeah, but still got Cansey out. Still got J-Mac out. Still got, at this point, Wirfs and Godwin are still out, and we don't know how they're going to come back. So I think it's a little bit more worrisome than you guys would be letting on. And we got to play the Jets this week. And again, I know everybody wants to crap on the Jets, but Aaron Glenn, new coach, firebrander, he's looking at this as an opportunity to come in here and get a win with a banged up team coming off a really physical Monday night game against the Texans. Listen, I've been covering this league a long time. This is an absolute trap game if there ever was one. An absolute trap game if there ever was one. Has all the makings of it. So, yeah, and listen, you could sit there and say, we should beat the Jets. It's the NFL. And they're going to play desperate. Trust me. They're going to play very, very desperate. And if the Bucs take care of them, then good for them. That's a hell of a job. Lady Evil, I have not seen you in here. What's that avatar she's got there?
Wow.
Is that her band?
Yeah.
Is that a band called Lady Evil?
I'm checking it out.
All right. Give me some research. Says there's a different edge about this Bucs team this year. Like Baker said yesterday, we're not taking any shit. Enough said. That was awesome, Lady Evil. That was awesome. So I was just getting ready to ask a similar question of Baker about, hey, when your boy Chauncey, as you like to call him, hit you low and you got up and you looked like you were injured. And as soon as he started talking shit, you got better quick. What happened there? And so Jenna Lane asked it in a different vernacular. And he said, we're just not taking any shit. And that's true. And not that this team ever has or Baker ever has, but there's a different aura to this team. There's no question about it. There's no question about it. They're much more confident in who they are. They're much more confident in being an elite team instead of just a team that scratches to get into playoffs. You feel that, you see it, and at 2-0, that attitude, winning games late and doing it the way they've done it, has been a huge part of it. 100% is a new attitude. I think you're spot on. What else we got here, partner? Kenneth McCleary says maybe Chase needs to do like they did in Waterboy, visualize an attack. Maybe that can help him kick better. Now we're going to. The water boy to get inspiration? Okay.
Whatever it takes.
Rick says journalist JP or curious JP, wondering if scuffed balls make a difference. Ball preparation is important. That's all I'm going to say. All right, I've convinced James. He said I changed my mind, JP. I looked at the tape again, so yes, I agree with you. They laid down. There we go. We have conversion on Flopgate. Andre All Day 20, welcome in again, says, so glad that Silverman and Auld is out for the Tampa Bay Rays and that the sale will be finalized within 2 weeks. You know, I don't think we really hit that as much, Timmy, is that in the press release yesterday, the Rays confirmed that the sale will be complete in 2 weeks. It's been a long run since we did that interview in, long, figuratively speaking, when we did that video back in, what was it, February? I told you the team was going to be sold to a group of elite Tampa Bay businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
But it has come to fruition, and I can't wait for the future of this team. I really am excited about it. They might screw it up, but I think they have all the makings of doing something really good. Tommy Fitzgerald, first time in here. He's got a nice little Star Wars avatar, a little Chewie. Should I do this in my Chewbacca?
Please don't.
JP, Bucs need more from their tight ends, especially with Ibuka hobbled. Culp needs to get a few targets. I like where you're going with that, Timothy Fitzgerald. Because we look at the wide receivers. Oh, now we're down to one healthy wide receiver. Yeah, we got Cade Otton, Payne Durham, and Devin Culp who can get down the field and make catches. So, yeah. That's the thing, when you have a varied offense and you're multiple, you're not just leaning on, a certain segment, you can do this. So I think it just brings us, what we thought would be kind of a walkover game for the Bucs becomes a much more interesting game, in my opinion. Mike H says, at least Stu never sold out the team to patches on the shoulder. Give him credit there. That was the most anti-Stu thing ever that he didn't sell. Maybe my feeling is maybe he wanted too much money for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what happened there. All right. Anything else you wanted to bring to the table, my friend? I know we're going through a lot of the comments here, but I love to include all our commenters because they bring up great stuff. They're really smart. I love our Petermans.
It's an intelligent fan base for sure.
It really is. It really is. And funny too. Funny. Argumentative at times. Love you guys.
Makes it fun. Yeah.
Timothy also adds, Chase has been missing the chip shots. Maybe we need to get him a 55-yarder because he's so money on those to get his confidence back. The one he hit was a 48-yarder. Yeah, maybe he's just needs to pull out the driver a little bit. Pull out the driver and fix that thing.
Huh.
Ever think about that? Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Yeah, just
get out the big stick.
Just fix it.
Joel says Cowboys kicker will eventually shit the bed too.
He's right. He's right. We had Dan Bailey for a while, who was the Brandon Aubrey. I mean, he wasn't making 60-yard kicks, but he was literally making everything. And then one day he missed like 3 kicks in a game, and that was it. Like, we're done.
Scott Rano, right? Scott Razik says, thanks to the Rays for comp tickets for handicap seats last night. Really? The Rays gave you comp tickets, Scott?
Whose idea was that?
Yeah. Maybe the new owners have been working inside the organization. So I'll give them the credit. Stefan Gonzalez said Bucs hired Eric Neander as game manager. Confirmed. What? No. Eric Neander has done a great job with the Rays, except this year. His last few moves have been a little suspect. Rick says my John Morgan sounds like Dabo Sweeney. Really? All my impersonations are starting to sound the same, to be quite honest. I got to work on them. And then Timothy Fitzgerald says, do you know what's ironic that Chubb actually did go down at like the 2-yard line to help the Browns run the clock out against the Texans when he was playing with Baker in 2020? Mm-hmm. I think I remember that. Yeah. Great point. But it was so early in the game, I think they weren't thinking about it. it was a weird play, and I think it's going to go down. I think history will look at it as a very interesting thing. Timothy also says it doesn't seem like the new holder would affect Chase because we had like 3 punters last year. So I would imagine the holder changed several times last year when he was great. That's true. So we'll see where it goes from that. All right. Let's take another break. Come back, do a little college football. Want to do some college football, Timmy?
Let's do some college football. It's going to be a big week.
Yeah, it is. Let's look ahead to some of the games. What we're thinking, college game day at Florida at Miami. That's going to be a big one. So we'll do college football when we come back. We're brought
big
to you by
kickoff at Texas Tech at Utah, too.
Texas Tech. You tell us about the Red Raiders.
Man, they are rolling right now.
They are rolling big time. Don't talk a little FSU as well.
Yeah.
We're brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. Our good friend Paulo over there has the best restaurant in town. If you love traditional Italian food, folks, like I do, the lasagna is amazing. The chicken marsala is incredible. The farfalle salchicha is amazing. Bueno, prego.
I love it.
We love it. Oh, God, I could use some of that right now. And the fresh seafood, the branzino, which is a sea bass. Oh, so good. Number 3 on the open table list as voted by all the diners out there on their reviews. So head on out to Cafe Paradiso on South McDill. Get a reservation on open table and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Stay with us. The Golden Diamond Source is working every day to be your family jeweler. Right now, a $5,000 engagement ring with 0% interest can be yours for just $83. So don't let the holidays sneak up on you this year. Now is the time to get ahead with their in-store layaway. Trade in your old jewelry for cash. Gold has never been higher. The Golden Diamond Source is offering the highest ever trade-in values for your gold and diamond jewelry. Now is the time to get your holiday shopping started. So come in now, relax, shop, and save at the Golden Diamond Source. We love Julie and Steve Weintraub, great local philanthropists, and you can find them at 3800 Omerton Road in Clearwater, where you'll always find the perfect gift, only at the Golden Diamond Source. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, are you going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show? It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American Standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Breaking news. College football. So stand by for that. We're brought to you by the great folks at Onsite Construction, FL.com. If you're looking for a contractor to build new, revamp your house, do any type of renovations, commercial or residential, Onsite Construction, FL.com is the place to go. Jason Fawcett is the owner over there. Get a free consultation with him. He'll come out to your home or your business and get on the preferred client list. So if there's a hurricane or something and you need a contractor, you will be on that preferred client list. Onsite Construction, FL.com. Smart way to go. Smart way to go. All right. Did you see this with your Texas Tech hat on? College football is officially moving to a single offseason transfer portal window. The NCAA announced on Wednesday. I did not see this yesterday. I missed it. Division I Administration Committee voted to approve legislative change that eliminates the spring transfer window.
Yep.
They haven't decided exactly when the only window is going to be. I think it should be right after the championship game. Well, the championship game bleeds into like the second week of January now, because then
because of NFL playoffs and all that good stuff, they got to do it before that. Yeah, so I saw that this was proposed, and I love it. It's great. It's going to keep players where they commit for a year,
right?
And it's going to give schools and programs and recruiters really, there's only one date, right, that you have to focus on to get your kids. And
it's going to be in January, early January.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think that's great. That's how it needed to be. I never understood why they had to.
And the players on teams still competing in the playoff will have 5 days after their final postseason game to enter the portal. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I like that. This is positive. It just keeps it's less roster switching because now teams can really focus. Okay, this is our roster. You don't have to. We got to wait till spring to see who else runs away. So yeah, I think that, and that'll bring more continuity. And more continuity equals better football. So I think all that's good.
And it's good for players too, because that way, a guy that's potentially thinking, say, a quarterback transferring into another program, he'll know who his competition is going to be because they're all coming at the same time. He doesn't have to wait. Well, I know you want me now, but in the fall, or over the summer, are you going to be getting somebody else? And then where will I be? Then I have to transfer again. So it's good for the programs, and I think it's good for the players overall. So I'm all for this. I think this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. South Carolina quarterback Lenoris Sellers is listed as questionable on the SEC availability report. I can't believe the SEC is doing this now, but it's great. Against number 23 Missouri this week. So yeah, he got knocked out of the Vanderbilt game this past week. One of the better quarterbacks. So that's a big deal. He is questionable this week. Colorado is going to start Caden Salter against Wyoming. So they're going back to Caden Salter. Salter started the first 2 games, but the team switched to Ryan Staub for the 36-20 loss to Houston on Friday.
Staub is horrible.
Staub was 19 of 35 for 204, touchdown and 2 interceptions. Couldn't get much going in the second half.
And Staub played 2 years. He sat 2 years behind Shadur. This is his 3rd year in the program. But of course, as sitting behind the coach's son, you're never getting playing time. Sanders never got hurt, but dude, Staub is just, and they got the 5-star kid, Julian. Can't remember his name, but he was the big get for Dion at quarterback, and they're not even
Julian
playing.
Lewis.
Yeah, and they're not even playing him right now.
Salter entered the season with a 23-6 record as a starter, so he's more obviously experienced.
Yeah,
so they'll go back to him. So Colorado at 1-2, and just kind of a mediocre team. You think Dion sticks around for mediocre?
Well, he's the reason they're mediocre. This is his team.
Of course, I'm not.
I said this on my Pigskin and Burnt Ends college football podcast, part of the College Gridiron Coast to Coast Network. Thank you, TJ Reeves. This is finally in year 3. This is Dion's team. These are his kids. These are people that he recruited. These are his guys. No,
he doesn't recruit high school. He just recruits transfer.
Well, that's okay. Well, then that's his problem.
For the most part, it's going to be a different team every year.
But his kids are gone now. Like his kids, like his children are gone. So I think now we finally get to see what kind of coach Dion is when he's got to pick the talent that's not in his family, and what kind of coach he can be. And I'll tell you, I said it on the podcast, I don't like the way he handled that loss at all. He came in after guns a-blazing after the loss and said, and I'm not quoting, but this was the gist of his press conference, I couldn't be more disappointed in the performance of my kids, and I never would have thought they could have played that way after I had them so well prepared during the week.
Yeah, it was a lot of not my fault, it's your fault type deal.
It's horrible. It's a horrible look.
Mm-hmm.
He's losing that program very, very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to be a difficult slog for him, and I don't know how long he's going to be around for that. Interesting. All right, so one of the big matchups this week, as you mentioned, Texas Tech, number 17 Texas Tech at number 16 Utah at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. That's a 12 o'clock kick. So what's that, like 7 o'clock in the morning Utah time?
That would be like 10.
Is it? They're in the mountain time, right?
Yeah, they're not Pacific, they're mountain. So it's just an hour before us here in Central Time.
Right.
So it's 11 here. It'll be 10 o'clock. Yeah, local time.
That's early.
Battle of the undefeateds, 3-0, 3-0.
So what's Texas Tech? I know, I haven't followed a lot. All I know is they got a lot of NIL money. And they bought a lot of players. They got like a $40 million payroll.
Dude.
Is this true?
Man, and I don't know if it's 40, but it's probably close. And it is paying off. Look, the story of Texas Tech the last 2 years under Joey McGuire have been offense. It's the air raid offense that Texas Tech always runs, that they ran under Mike Leach. They ran under Cliff Kingsbury. And it's a lot of yards. It's like an old AFL offense, the old Chargers back in the day. And they have always been offense. Well, this year, thanks to the transfer portal, dude, they've got defense. They got a lot of defense. They have outscored their opponents this season, JP, through 3 games, 174-35. They have scored 67, 60. They won. Here's your score: 67-7 against Arkansas Pine. Now, granted, these are not top tier teams. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 62-14 against Kent State. And then last week over Oregon State, not really a pushover, but not a top tier program either, 45-14. So you finally got a defense. And thanks to the transfer portal, Joey McGuire is a legendary high school football coach here. He won, I don't know how many state titles with Cedar Hill here south of Dallas. And as a matter of fact, one of Dion's kids played for him. So he knew Dion really, knows Dion really, really well. Now they're both in the Big 12 again. But his forte is offense. But they finally got some defense with that program, man, and they are a smothering defense. Utah, obviously, at number 16. That's the biggest test for them so far, and I'm super excited to see this game. I wish it was a nighttime game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's also the Red Raiders' first road game of the season. They started with 3 straight home games at Jones AT&T Stadium out in Lubbock. So it's their first road test, and it's against number 16 Utah.
Yeah, and they always play great at home. But Whittingham's a great coach there.
Yep.
All right, that's a good one this week. So USF will be home for a nooner against South Carolina State, who beat Wofford in a highly anticipated matchup to start the season, 16-15. Then they went to South Carolina and got beat 38-10. So respectable, right? At South Carolina.
Yep.
When they were ranked 10th in the nation. And then they put a whooping on Bethune last week, 55-41. So the Bulldogs can score some points. So we'll see South Florida, coming off these huge games at Florida, at Miami, 2-1, having throttled Boise State. It'll be interesting to see. This is one of those games that you got to bring your own motivation, right? It's going to be a small crowd. It's going to be hot out there at Raymond James Stadium. I hope it's a bigger crowd, but I'm not. I just don't see that happening. So you just got to go out there and take care of business and run up the score and get back in the top 25. With 2 top 25 wins or top 15 win and a top 25 win, I don't think USF should have been just dismissed as they were.
Yeah, especially against Miami, right? Yeah,
at Miami.
I didn't agree with that either, yeah.
Yeah, come on now.
And that's a noon kickoff, right? So it's going to be hot.
Yeah, that's a nooner. It's going to be super hot. Although our mornings have been luscious here recently.
Well, that's good. I will say this: South Carolina State is not a very good team.
They're not, but
this should be a cakewalk.
Yeah, they're a MEAC team. Just go get if you're South Florida and you're a top 25 team, go drop a 50 burger on them. With this offense, you should be able to do that. Stay focused, run the tempo, and run up the score.
Yeah, they don't have a great passing game. Ryan Stubblefield's not a very good quarterback. They have a negligible rushing attack. Their leading rushers only run for 100 yards the whole season. So I mean, this is not a good team.
All right,
and somehow they're 2-1.
Yeah, so FSU will take on Kent. The Kent State Golden Flashes at 3:30 on the ACC network.
Yep, that the Red Raiders just steamrolled.
Yeah, what was the score of that game? Kent State.
That was the 62-14.
62-14. Okay.
Yeah.
They lost against Buffalo 31-28. Talking about Kent State. Lost at Texas Tech 62-14.
Yep.
And then beat MRMK. Who the hell is MRMK?
Merrimack.
Wow. Okay. 21-17.
Yeah, Merrimack.
There we go. So this is an ass
in
whooping.
Massachusetts, by the way.
Yeah, this should be an ass whooping. And they put 77 up against East Texas, North Texas, weak A&M State. So drop an 80 burger on these guys. And by the way, there is no more discussion about running up the score because ESPN has made their statement that it does matter how many points you score, and it is a beauty contest.
Yep.
So with my apologies to any of these weak sisters, they get a big paycheck and they get score run up on them. That's not our fault. That's ESPN's fault. They did this.
Yep.
They said that you got to have you got to be beautiful. You got to be hot. You got to put the lipstick on, plump up the lips, get the fake titties, and it's a beauty contest. So roll it up.
Don't get
roll it up
when you get rolled. Yeah.
If you get to 80, you get to 80. Just keep rolling.
Unless you're New Mexico playing UCLA, then you just win the game. You take your $1.5 million.
Wow. So the UCLA job is open. Deshaun Foster.
Did anybody think that was a good idea with Deshaun Foster? I never thought that was a good idea.
There's been this, in the world of NIL now, to raise money, you go hire a Michael Vick, a Deion Sanders, a Deshaun Foster. I mean, these big name guys, but they don't have the chops of being a college football coach and the ridiculous amount of work that takes and dedication and ass kissing. And, I just don't think it's a good fit for a lot of these guys. For some of them it is, but I don't know. I think if you're UCLA, you need to find an established coach, and please get your hands off our defensive coordinator, Tony White at FSU. Keep your hand, who is a UCLA alum. But the word is UCLA is a dumpster fire as an athletic program. They're not spending money on football. They're not spending any money on just about anything. It's a very not very interested in athletics school. So and they basically are going to be Rutgers West. So if I'm Tony White, don't take it, don't do it. Stay where you're at, a couple more years, and then have your pick of SEC jobs or Big Ten jobs or whatever you want. But that's,
and by the way, hiring these big names that people recognize isn't always a great idea. I mean, Deshaun Foster, case in point. Look, I love Mike Vick. He's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Norfolk State's 1-2 right now. They're not great. Eddie George is at Bowling Green. I don't know what their record is right now. I don't know how he's doing, but it's not always, they're 2-1 in the MAC. Okay. So there you go. But no, that's just, that's strictly for recruiting and for show when you hire somebody like that for the most part, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. UAB at number 15, Tennessee, coming off that heartbreaking loss.
Man, I thought they had that game.
That was brutal. Brutal. Oregon State 0-3. The Beavers are at Oregon 3-0.
They just got rolled by Tech.
Yeah. That Beaver got beat up.
That Beaver got pounded.
I'm sorry. We couldn't resist that one. Come on.
Like we're the first ones to ever do that. Come on.
Right. Come on. My dad took a business trip out to Oregon. He brought me back a Oregon State Beavers t-shirt. And it had the big beaver on it. I love that thing. I wore that till it had about 18 holes in it. I love that
nice
thing. Is it like when you get something when you're a kid like that has markings? You got me a UCLA, so I became a big UCLA fan.
Yeah,
as well. Auburn is at Oklahoma in the big matchup of the weekend. One of the big matchups. 22 Auburn 3-0. How about Auburn at 3-0 at Oklahoma number 11 3-0? That's going to be an interesting contest. We got Tulane at 3-0 against Ole Miss at 3-0. It's a long time rivalry between these teams. Not an SEC rivalry, but has some great history to it. So that'll be an interesting game as well. Watch out, Ole Miss. Watch out in the Grove. Don't get too drunk. 3-0 Nebraska taking on a 21st ranked Michigan team at 3:30, and that's Michigan at Nebraska.
Yeah,
that'll be kind of an interesting one. Purdue is at Notre Dame.
Gotta hope Notre Dame loses again. They won't lose to Purdue, but
yeah. And then the big college game day will be at Florida and Miami. Tickets going to lowest price ticket for this one, $180 to get into Hard Rock for this one. It's a big one. I think it's just going to be a very, very interesting game. I think Miami's fantastic. I think, we talked about this early in the week. Fletcher, he is an absolute beast. They got 3 really good receivers. Carson Beck is, listen, Carson Beck can stand behind that gigantic offensive line and not get pressured. He with those receivers, they're going to put up points all day long. Then Miami's really, really good. But I'm going to be interested to see what happens to Miami when they get kind of smacked in the face by a very physical Gator defense. And they will, I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they might even somebody might spit in their face. So be careful. But wear a windshield if you're a Miami offensive lineman.
Don't sleep on 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern kickoff on ESPN. South Carolina at number 23, Missouri. I think that's going to be a really exciting game to watch. Even if you have no
Lenora Sellers may not play.
No, he's not. I don't think he's playing.
So it's not going to be that fun. I don't know.
I still think it will be.
Should Notre Dame be ranked at 0-2?
Well, look at who your 2 losses to. I mean, it's kind of the same argument.
Yeah. Miami and A&M.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean, they're at 24, right? So, yeah. I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Temple is 2-1 at Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
Tech coming off a huge win at 3-0.
How about Haynes King, man? I never thought he was going to put that together. This is the Haynes King we thought we were getting in College Station before he kept getting hurt.
Though, man. It's especially with college quarterbacks, man. High school for these kids is just, 7-on-7. It's playtime, right? And then it just takes a while. You come to these big schools and, the pressure is immense and, hot chicks everywhere.
Well, and there's no patience.
Got to be very disruptive.
There's no patience with a quarterback now. If you don't show something in your first year, there's the transfer portal. Well, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah.
And so now Haynes King is lighting things up at Georgia Tech. Connor Weigman, who was our savior last year and the year before at A&M, kept getting hurt. He lost his job to Marcel Reed at the end of last year because he was hurt. He's now with the Houston Cougars lighting things up over there. You know, it's all circumstance too. You could be, look at Arch, man. I don't know if Arch has anything. I honestly don't know. I told you guys a couple of years ago, I was hearing rumblings out of Austin that they were not figuring out what was going on with Arch because he was not good. And now we're seeing it translating. And apparently they tried to keep Quinn one more year. They wanted him to come back.
Maybe he's not good.
And it's very possible he was adopted.
Maybe he's not good. I mean, from what I saw, what I've seen in the first two games, the guys that he's missed.
Oh, they're bad.
Throwing motion. I mean, wide open dudes, man. Yeah.
Throwing it into the dirt. Yeah.
Yeah. He just does not look the part. He does not. If his name was anything else, he wouldn't even be getting a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Which is weird. I mean, I wish the best for the kid, but
how long do you roll with that if you're the Longhorns?
The funniest thing is people like, oh, he'll be the number one pick. I'm like, what are you talking about? He hasn't done anything yet. He couldn't even start. Like, come on.
No. Yeah, he still hasn't.
All right. What did we forget? Oh, we didn't any lightning today. We'll do that tomorrow. Nick Paul announced yesterday, Julian Brisebois, that he'll be out till November with an upper body injury. They tried to take care of it with conservative means, but it didn't work. So he got surgery and he'll be out. That just opens up the spot for a Connor Geeky or somebody else to kind of step up. I don't think it's a huge deal. Kucherov talked yesterday. It was like, our power play sucks. We got to get better. And he ain't wrong. Even though it was top 5 in the league in the regular season, it sucked against the Panthers. Well, they scored the first one and then went 0 for 15. So, yeah, the Lightning got some work to do, but they've got a talented roster. It's going to be a very interesting season. They'll be one of the better teams, but it's almost – let's see what happens in the playoffs, right? It's just like the regular season is kind of, let's see what happens in the playoffs because that's what it's all about. But it's going to be fun to watch. Very talented team. Going to be a great – always entertaining. I cannot wait to get back to Emily. I'm sorry.
Don't say that.
Benchmark International Arena.
Not the bench.
Not the bench. Not the mark.
Not the mark.
Benchmark International Arena. I better stop saying it that way because I might say that like on Lightning
in the arena.
Hockey Live. All right, welcome into Benchmark International Arena.
They might like it. You never know.
It's very ominous. Very ominous. Very intimidating, don't you think?
That just doesn't roll off the tongue very well. I know you're not allowed to critique the name.
Emily Arena is kind of weak sauce. Emily Arena.
What would you rather it be?
Arena.
What would be a cool name? Dude Wipes Arena.
Dude Wipes Arena.
I don't know. What's a good?
We don't smear, we clean.
I don't know what would be an intimidating sponsor for an arena. Like,
we don't just smear you, we wipe you away. Dude Wipes Arena.
Marlboro Reds Arena.
No filter. No filter. Marlboro Lights Arena.
Off the rails.
Let's go. All right. That'll do it for us today. Thank you guys for jumping in, man. We had thousands. I think we had thousands of comments today.
We did.
Thousands. Just from Mike H alone. We love you. Yeah. Thank you guys. As always, we truly do love you. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We can't do it without you. Really appreciate it. So we'll have a party here at Kingmakers, and we got room for a studio audience in here, bro. Let's have a studio audience come on in. Be fantastic. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Go Rays, afternoon game.